I'm very big on like, listen to the internet, but listen to it with good ears.
Yes.
There's people who are selling to you on the internet, and there's people who are actually giving you advice. I think we were lucky enough to represent talent like Mariam Musa, Nella Rose. We had a few people under our books and people that we were just working with that showed that Black talent can actually produce content, get views, get engagement, and show good ROI for brands. We were the first, so when we're knocking on these doors, people are very much intrigued at first. Like, oh, what is this? Like 3 black girls, we come in the room with our wigs or our braids and we're just talking fast and we're like, and they're like, who are these girls? And they listen to what we have to say. Because some girls will come to me on the road, some guys will be like, are you one of the founders of Vamp? Like, you really inspire me. Some people are at uni and they want to work for us. So I can only imagine like me being young and seeing that. Oh, 3 black women own a business.
Incredible.
They're working with all these brands. They're working with these people. They're achieving. Like, I could potentially be like that. So I think representation is just so key.
Hi Black Circle family, and welcome back to another episode. Today I am so pleased to introduce Christina Okorocha. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming down. Christina is the co-founder and director of entertainment at Vamp, the culture first agency championing Black digital talent, authentic representation. Beyond Vamp, she is dedicated to career development and widening access to opportunities, particularly for Black entrepreneurs and underrepresented young people.
Yeah.
Love that. But Christina, just before kind of Vamp, I want to kind of dig into who you were before that and what brought you onto that journey. So was it always entertainment and media for you? Did you know that's where you wanted to start?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think when I was young, I think every young black girl wanted to be an actor or wanted to be someone like known. I think everyone's doing it in influencers and content creators right now. But when you were young, you wanted to be an actor, basically. And I think I studied musical theatre, I did drama, I did a lot of stuff. But then I liked business more. Like, I just preferred business. And I think, but I still love that side of things. Like, I love content, I love watching things, I love musicals. I'm such a musical head. I love art, I love like creation, advertising. So I think naturally I went in there.
Yeah, so like kind of creative element of like business and all of that inside of that. And I know kind of Vamp isn't just, it's not you, you've got co-founders as well. So I want to go back to those early conversations, and you're sitting with your co-founders, and that's Ruby and Rumbi. Yes. What was those early conversations like? Because I know I had a guest on previously, Jo, big up Jo, and she was basically saying that Black women, we start businesses out of necessity. It's because, you know, we're being forced out of the workforce, we're losing jobs, and so it's like, okay, we're not handed that, we don't inherit like generational wealth. So what was those early conversations like for you and your co-founders in starting up Vamp and thinking about Vamp?
So we all went to Coventry University, so we studied together. Me and Ruby were part of the African Caribbean Society, so I was the vice president, Ruby was like the press officer. And I think at our uni, at Coventry Uni, if you know about Coventry Uni, everyone's very entrepreneurial. I studied business, so I feel like my entrepreneurial skills were taught outside of the classroom. And everyone just wanted to support each other. Everyone had a little side hustle business. People were making money, doing different things. And I think we naturally just came together as a group. Me and Ruby, so I did a placement year. So I did a year in industry, and I worked at Canon and I worked at Google for the summer. And Ruby worked at Universal Pictures, which was literally in my same building, which is crazy. So when we were kind of going through the same things at work, which was more around like our team asking us to support and consult on culture, on youth marketing, on kind of things like that, we were like, we should build something ourselves. And obviously Rumbi got involved too, because we all kind of are the same and we all believe in the same thing. Rumbi's very talent heavy, so she's very much like, she loves talent, she knows how to grow talent, she knows how to build talent. So all of us coming together, was just a force in one. And it, like you said, it was a necessity. I felt like where I was working, they were looking for talent and speaking to people that just didn't look like me. And I was like, I don't know who Joe Bloggs is. Like, I don't know who this guy is. At that time, it was heavy on a white man. And I was like, who are these people? I do not know these people. They don't influence me. They don't influence my community. So can we please get some talent that influences my community, and let's try and support them and bring them opportunities. So yeah, it kind of was necessity. But maybe there was a little bit of selfishness in it, because we were like, I just want to see people that influence me. Yeah.
I don't think there's selfishness at all. I think that's I keep stressing the importance of representation, right? And building it. If we're not there to set the tables, like we have to build our own tables. So I think that was I think the foresight that you ladies had at that time, and judging the way the market is going now, I think, he was right on trend, right on time.
Thank God, honestly.
Because Vamp was established in 2017, right? So let's kind of get into building of Vamp. Yeah. So once you guys kind of sat down and you decided, okay, this is what we're going to do, what were those early steps like bringing that vision to life?
So we started at uni, but not officially. Everyone knows you start a business is not official in the beginning. I think now people nowadays rush to register on company's house, register their business and do this stuff. But sometimes you have to kind of test the concept first. So we started at uni, started managing one of our friends, Mariam Musa. And that worked out really well. Got her like some collabs and started consulting brands. Then we graduated, went to work at jobs, because, you know, that's the normal path for all African kids. So we had to go get ourselves a job. So we went to get a job. And then while I was in my role, because I was a junior product planner, junior buyer, which is basically buying advertisements on Facebook, pitching for that, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. This was like back in 2016, 2017. And I used to pitch for talent. I used to pitch to be, so for example, you know, YouTube does a lot of ads. So for example, you have someone like Patricia Bright, who's very monetized, and you'll have a brand that wants to sell on YouTube, and you'll we'll pitch so that you end up on people like Patricia Bright, because you need to go for this audience. So I would always put people like Patricia Bright, Jenny Jenkins, all those people would be in my pitches.
Right.
Because I'm, you know, selfish. I need to see these ads.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
So when we kind of did that, we all ended up like quitting our jobs. So Ruby was doing the same thing in her job. Rumby was doing the same thing in her job. And then we all just decided to start quitting our jobs one by one. Luckily, we were at home at the time. We didn't have a lot of like things to pay for,
like all the overheads. Because I was just going to say, like, some people, they're like, they know the exact time when it's right to quit their job, or other times it's got to be a calculated risk, right? So I just want you to reiterate, like, all your overheads were low.
Yeah, the overheads are very low. I remember a friend of mine, because I was helping a startup at the time, like an app, and the founder, I said to him, I think I'm going to go and do Vamp full time. He was like, you just need to cost up what life is going to cost you. And I think at the time it was like £300. I had my phone bill. It was less than that. Phone bill, food, all that stuff. It was nothing.
Perfect.
So I was like, do you know what? If I can just stop going out. No, I didn't stop going out. If I can just go out, find ways to go out for free.
Yeah.
Still enjoy. And make it work, then I can just do this. And we all kind of did the same thing. We didn't have rent to pay and all that stuff. So yeah, we just did it. We just kicked the bucket and went straight in it. It was hard, I'm not gonna lie. I did go to Vegas and blow a lot of money that I saved. That was so dumb. But it was still good. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
But it did make us push harder because we had nothing. And I think what was really hard for us was pricing ourselves as well in the beginning. I think we didn't know what to price ourselves at all. I think the first thing we did with a major distributor was like, we charged them like $5,000, which was all right. I'm not gonna lie. Looking back, we actually kind of did our thing there for our first ever event.
Absolutely, yeah.
However, we could have gotten way more because of the impact that did. But yeah, we didn't know what we were doing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very much like just not being completely perfect, but still just going for it, which I think there's an important lesson in that, you know, for a lot of people. And you said something really interesting as well, where you say a lot of people, they think they're establishing a business by company's house and a business card. But what would you say to those people who are at the very start of their journey about establishing that and what that really looks like?
I think it looks like research, and I think it looks like a side hustle as well. Yeah. I think we are on the internet and you're watching people. I'm very big on like, listen to the internet, but listen to it with good ears. Yeah. There's people who are selling to you on the internet, and there's people who are actually giving you advice. Listen to the people that are actually giving you advice. Some people will tell you, do X, Y, Z, do this, do that, but that might not be right for you. You can't afford to quit your job. You might have 60K in savings, and you're going to quit your job and do your business. That money will blow in 2 months, like, honestly. So continue your job, still be getting income, and then, you know, when it's the right time to register your business, when that means that you need a business account, you need to maybe apply for a loan, so you have to have a business account, then go on company's house and then register your business. Don't run, because they're also changing things on company's house as well now. Oh, right. Yeah, so don't be a victim to the UK and tax.
Yeah, listen, it's true. Just again, those calculated risks. And so we were kind of touching on, that you guys starting out and you undervalued like what the offering was and what you was bringing to the table. So I'm wondering, like, how hard is it to convince big brands that authentic representation of Black digital talent wasn't optional, but it was actually essential?
Yeah, it was very hard, very difficult. I think we were lucky enough to represent talent like Mariam Musa, Nella Rose. We had a few people under our books and people that we were just working with that showed that Black talent can actually produce content, get views, get engagement, and show good ROI for brands. So we just used that as a case study. We were big on showing them the numbers, showing them reporting, also just showing them the personality of our talent. Like, just go on their page, look how funny she is, look how, like, look at our audience, look at the comments, like, do you want to be part of that conversation? So we were just heavy and big on that. And also we were the first, like, let's just be real with it. Like, we were the first. So when we're knocking on these doors, people are very much intrigued at first. Like, oh, what is this? Like, 3 Black girls, we come in the room with our wigs or our braids and we're just talking fast and we're like, oh, and they're like, who are these girls? And they listen to what we have to say. So yeah, I think that's just how we were able to do that.
I love that. And you said, like, you came into the room as yourselves, like, you didn't have to hide anything. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't want to put my face to my brand because it might not resonate with a wider audience because, so what would your advice be to those people who've got that kind of mentality?
You know what? I'm kind of that person as well. I think, honestly, I don't do a lot of podcasts. I don't do a lot of talks. I do a lot of talks in schools and I do like talks at events. I do that a lot. However, in terms of like putting my face to Vamp and speaking about what we do, like we work on some massive projects and I would love to actually sit down and break down how we were able to secure things, how we were able to, things go completely wrong, things go absolutely right. And I'd love to talk about that more, but it's hard when you're running a business because I'm so sorry, like, I remember last week, I woke up every single day, it wasn't last week, the week before, I woke up every single day, something bad happened in the morning. So I woke up to a message that was bad, that we had to solve. And I kept saying, guys, we're on a bad morning streak. Every morning something bad keeps happening. And if that keeps happening, how am I supposed to get on the internet and be like, so guys, this is... No, I'm like, I want to go and watch Real Housewives and chill. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
But how do you, so when you have those bad streaks, what is the mentality that keeps pushing you through? Like you said, you want to go and watch Real Housewives. I'm a Real Housewives fan as well. Love.
We can talk after.
talk. But yeah, what is that motivation? And I know not every day you can have it, but there's got to be something when you've got to the level that you've got to that pushes you through.
Yeah. I think I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know how that would have looked like for me. And I always knew I wanted to build. And I think being in this game for nearly 10 years, I know I want my life to be led by me. And I still believe in working for people. Don't get twisted. I'm not one of the entrepreneurs that don't work for the man. I'm not like that because I worked for the man and that taught me how to build my business. However, I want to build something for myself. I want to build a legacy for my family. I think it's really important what we've built. And I just love when people come to me. So, because some girls will come to me on the road. Some guys will be like, are you one of the founders of Vamp? Like, you really inspire me. Some people are at uni and they want to work for us. I find that so crazy. Like, when I was at uni, I wanted to work for Google. God willing, I got there. I wanted to work for all these big companies and someone's coming up to me and they're like, I've always wanted to work with Vamp. I'm like, us. So I can only imagine like me being young and seeing that. Oh, 3 Black women own a business.
Incredible.
They're working with all these brands. They're working with these people. They're achieving. Like, I could potentially be like that. So I think representation is just so key for me in general.
Yeah, you're the existing example for that generation coming up behind you, which is so important. Like, we need it. And like I said, you come into the room and you're just yourself. You're not trying to be what's already out there or a whitewashed version. Exactly. Like, it's just you unapologetically, all 3 of you. So, we're talking about some of the big talent that you guys have represented and looked after. So what were those first early wins that let you know that you were onto something?
Yeah, I think, what were those first early wins? So, for example, Mariam Musa, we got her a deal with I Saw It First. I don't feel like they exist like that anymore.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. But we got her this big deal where she was basically the first influencer to do a major collab with a fast fashion brand. And that was a massive win for us because Mariam is a very influential creator. Like the girls listen to Mariam Musa. They do. And I think that fashion-wise, she was very strong. But I think she was more strong in beauty. But we were still able to get her that deal. And obviously it was a testament to all the work she was doing to push herself in that area. And also us just doing business with people like that. Like we had to go up there. We had to really... Because the thing is, I think people need to understand when you do deals like that, because they don't happen as much as anymore, but back in the day when there was loads of influencers doing collabs with fashion brands and big brands, you would really need to maintain that relationship. Like it's not just that, oh, my influencer has 1 million followers, can they do a brand deal with you? No, that's like 6 months to a year of you
really
doing collabs with them, building a relationship with them, going out with them, turning up to their events, supporting them. Then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I know that this person will ride for this collab and ride for my brand. So I think it was a lot of us doing that, and then we managed to like get that deal for her, and I think that was a huge thing.
Wow. So that's so interesting that it's shifted so much. So do you feel like the brands are really wanting to make sure that you embody like everything that they stand for before they're just like, okay?
I think especially now, because like, there's too many, there's loads of influencers, there's loads of creators, there's loads of talent, and creators are not just in the form of millions of followers. They can be like 12k followers, but that person is so influential that half of their following will do what they say. So there's so much for them to choose from. So you really need to develop that relationship. Like meeting people's PRs. I'm a manager, so well, obviously director of entertainment, own a company, but we started off as managers. So we very much had relationships with PRs. We had relationships with other managers. We have relationships with brands and all that stuff. But I think it's so important for the talent to have relationships with these people too. Don't cut out your manager. Don't be sneaky, because everybody will hear about that. And the brands don't like that too, because they can see that. But also build that relationship with them. Like, follow them on Instagram, like their posts. Don't be too annoying, but be involved in their life and support them. Things that don't involve you, still support it, and that will build that relationship. This is business. I think a lot of creators don't understand that this is business, like this is actually business. You have to develop those relationships and maintain them.
There has to be some form of strategy behind what you're doing. It's not just like producing the content, which is hard, like especially you have to be on that hamster wheel of producing something every day and posting it. But there is real strategy behind that, which is what I'm learning. So kind of talk about the PR and digital talent side of things. So you've worked with some really big on some big campaigns, giants like Disney, Netflix, Spotify, Adidas. So what does it take to help brands diversify authentically rather than just like ticking a box?
Yeah, I think it's about being authentic and being honest with them and pushing. So I think when we first started Vamp and we worked on things like Black Panther, it wasn't easy getting in the door. We did Girls Trip and that put us on the map, and we went to Disney. We were like, we just did Girls Trip, like you guys should listen to us, and they did, which was great. However, them listening to us initially didn't mean that they would listen to us for like throughout, because you got to remember these big establishments have people that have been working there for years. They have a way of working. You need to find a way of mingling in. Like as 3 Black girls that just started a business, you also need to know how to kind of like assimilate into what they're doing, but also be like just push. Like for example, I remember when Black Panther, we were working on the PR for Black Panther, they sent us their list of people that they wanted to invite to the red carpet. That list was so tight. It was so tired. Like we were like, what the hell? Like
same faces.
Yeah, same faces. And you got to remember, this was like 2017, 2018, when there wasn't that many. There are more Black people, I would say, that are in media. Back in the day, it was all older Black people. So we had to get the rappers, we had to get the footballers, we had to get some of the influencers. But at that time, they were heavily on celebrities. So we had to try and push in influencers on the side or in different avenues, but it didn't always work. Like I'll never forget, like when we pulled up to the carpet for the Black Panther premiere, we didn't have passes. Like we didn't have passes.
Wow. Okay.
And they were like, we were like, oh, we need to get in. They were like, who are you? And we were like, oh, we just did that. They were like, but you need to get a pass. And that's not to say that Disney didn't want to give us a pass. It's just that we didn't ask for a pass.
Yeah. I guess it's a new experience.
Exactly. Exactly. And when they found out, we were all sorted out. But it was just little things that we were doing that we didn't know what we were doing. But yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah. But like you said, it's a trial and error, right?
Yeah.
That type of situation. So again, we're talking about talent and the management of that. So on the talent side, how do you spot and nurture digital creators who are ready to break through?
Yeah, I think Rumbi is the director of talent, so she's so much better at doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm very big on talent. Like, I love watching creators grow. I love following young creators and seeing them like kind of blow. I'm just very big on being unique. I think you need to build something that's so unique to yourself. I think a lot of creators want to copy other people. There are trends that you can follow, but I just think it's about being unique and also just kind of finding your element, finding your lane and building a community, like being very engaged with a community, also connecting with other creators, pardon me, and doing something just completely different, you know?
I love that. That's good advice. And so when we think of, the misconceptions that people have, what would you say is the biggest misconception about influencer marketing and Black talent in particular?
Yeah, I think the monolith thing. So if they think all Black people are the same, like look at me, Ruby, Rumbi, like we're all three Black women. We stand next to each other. People always say that I look like Ruby. People always say that we all look like each other or whatever.
Yeah.
However, we are not the same. I'm Nigerian, Ruby is Ghanaian, Rumbi is Zimbabwean. We all were brought up so differently.
Very different culture.
Yeah, we have certain similarities and we like certain things, but we're just very different girls. And I think that brands tend to think that if I have one Black person in the campaign that will talk to every Black person. No, like there's some girls that they just do not influence me, but they'll influence someone else and that's fine. So I think brands need to think about just working with different types of creators, not just the same ones. And nothing I hate more than brands working with the same creators all the time.
Yeah.
Switch it up. Like, just ask someone else to do it.
And just give new talent a chance as well, and bring that freshness to audiences. So how do you balance being both a cultural strategist and a champion for women and underrepresented voices?
So when Vamp was kind of first started, we focused a lot on Black culture. But I think as we've kind of moved along, coming up to 8 years, we realised that culture is what we are, because Black people influence culture in general. So it'll be dumb just to say we're just about Black culture. People know what we stand for, and we're very big on representation and diversity, and that's very clear in our wording. So we balance that by doing things like the Power Brunch. So we've got a Power Brunch happening, in October 15th during Black Business Week. And when we invite like over 250 women, 300 women to a room, to panel sessions, we give them brunch. There's like VIP goodie bags, networking, connecting. And I just do that because I don't know, I just think I wish that I had that more, And we started doing that from the inception of Vamp. Like, I remember the first year we were like, we need to do an event and invite these Black girls to talk to each other. And then we just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've seen women create businesses together, women like become friends, do things, go on holidays together and all that because of the brunch. And I think the more us Black women connect with each other, the better. We'll just be stronger. So we just tend to kind of do both. I think initially a lot of people thought that we were just for Black women, and I don't mind if you think we're just for Black women, that's fine, I do. That's not a negative for me. But we serve culture in general. We serve culture.
So I'm just shaking my head. There really is that. I was like, yes, like it's so important. And I've been in rooms for networking it specifically for Black women, and it's just that energy that it invites this particular energy where we're all kind of, we've got a shared, we're not the same cultures, but we've got a shared cultural experience, and the ease of that, we don't have to try to look or be like anything else. It's just an ease amongst each other. And those spaces are so important.
Yeah. And I just think it's so important that a lot of women, especially Black women, we can be very stiff and a bit like nervous, and it is anxiety. A lot of us Black women have anxiety, and people might say they're being rude or they're being this, but a lot of women are nervous. That's just what it is. So you might walk into a room and you might think, oh my gosh, that girl looks like she's so confident, or that girl looks like she knows everybody and all that. And you might be like, oh, I'm just going to be in the corner, I'm not with anyone. But I think it's important to have places like the Power Brunch where everyone's sat in like a banqueting style thing where you can talk to people. There's ways you can network, you can walk around the room. All the speakers are notable women that will stand there and talk to you too. And I just think it's important. I think there's this hierarchy of society, because in the UK we love some high class. That we kind of build that in our brains where we're like, oh, this person is this person. They know this person, so clearly I can't talk to them. No, you can talk to them.
Yeah.
They might not give you all the information that you want at that time, but build a relationship. You never know where you might get with that person.
It's that accessibility.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I just love the framing of like the sisterhood, the accessibility, the warmth. And I think that makes for a really special type of networking when you can foster that atmosphere. So what have you learned about leadership as a Black woman navigating media and entertainment?
That's a good question. What I've learned about leadership is it's not cookie cutter where you just tell people what to do. I was actually talking to someone in my team about this today, about leadership. And I just said to her, with leadership, you feel like you just need to tell people what to do, quote unquote, move like a dictator sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's that. I think leadership is supporting one another, and I think it's about wanting the best for people. I think that's what that is. And especially as Black women, that's what it should be. Because I find that sometimes people want, like, there's a lot of women and a lot of senior people that want to put people through the ranks. Like, oh, I struggled, so you have to struggle. We don't need to do that.
But we're over that now.
Yeah, you can teach people lessons and you can make people learn the hard way, but it needs to be in the form of guidance. There's a goal you're trying to get to with this person. You don't need to try and trip this person up. You don't need to try and prove a point. Like, leadership is taking people to where they need to be in a way that suits them, but also teaching them lessons and having communication. Because I feel like there are breakdowns in relationships all the time with people, but I think it's about how you get over it. You know, having constant communication with someone. Because when I was speaking to the person in my team, they told me that, you know, their old managers, they didn't have the best relationships with them, so they don't know how to manage other people. And I said, you need to think about what you wanted when you were in that position. And that person might not want that specifically, but at least you're giving them some stuff that show that you care. And then you guys can draw up the boundaries. You guys know how to work together. I think that's like the best way.
Absolutely. And I also think, like, if you can be in service of others, like, that is always a good mark of a leader. And I'm a big believer in teams. I think, don't get twisted, business is very, like, sharkish, competitive, and I believe in that. I believe if you're in business, you need to be a shark. You need to be, like, very competitive. You need to be focused. That's what you need to do. However, when you have a team, that shouldn't be where you compete. Your team should be where you nurture, so that if you need to go out and compete, you go out and compete with your team that are loyal to you and all that. Like, you work as a team. It's like the same way that, you know, back in the day when they used to do all these wars and stuff like that. Like, you build your team in your union and you're loyal to each other and you go out and fight what you need to fight the battle you need to fight, you know? Yeah, I'm big on that. As well, not having these, like, silos within your team and just having that unity. It's funny because I was recording yesterday, and my guest yesterday was basically saying that your opponent, along the lines of your opponent working harder than you. So you have to make sure that you're matching that energy if you want to put your idea out. If you want to make that the success, can't speak today, then you need to work harder than your opponent.
Always. You always should see your opponent's competition. Don't get personal with it, because a lot of people like to get personal. Especially in our community, we like to get too personal with things. It's not that deep. It's just business, you know? Like, God forbid something happened to you, like, business will still move on, life will still move on. But you need to just see that person as your opponent, see that person as a challenge. And I always say, like, it's a race. Like, it's not a race, sorry. It's like, it is a race, essentially. It's a race to get the bag. It's a race to build a business, but you're in two different lanes. Like, stay in your lane. Do what you need to do in your lane. You don't need to go in that person's lane. That person shouldn't be coming into your lane. You can, like, if you need to do a power booster, if you need to change how your car looks, if you need to change things, do that. But it is literally a race, but you stay in your lane or you'll get disqualified. That's just how racing is.
No, I absolutely agree with that. So when you think about the future of Vamp, where do you want to take it next?
You know what? We've been doing this for 8 years. Like, they always say at your 10-year mark, that's when, you know, things are going to explode and stuff. And I would be a lie if I said the journey was easy. It's not easy at all. We've been through a lot of stuff as a business that really tested us as 3 co-founders. However, with Vamp, the whole purpose for me was, like we said, representation and building, and being a voice for some people that are potentially voiceless. So I want to continue doing that, and I want to build globally. So we launched in Lagos last year, so Nigeria and Lagos, because we're trying to take over the African market. So we've got a content house out there. We invested in the content house. And we're actually doing some business in Lagos as well. So global for us, especially when the Black people are in Africa. In Africa, they're not Black, they're just African. You know, we love using this term. They're just African. They're just people, you know? So we're going there to build a business out there. Understand the culture. Like I said, I'm Nigerian, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't know and I don't understand. There's so many parts of Nigeria. It's a big country. There's so many tribes, so many things that you don't understand, and we're learning that. And also doing work in America. I literally just came back from America. I go all the time as well. But the way they do business out there, I always just say, like, it just suits me so much more, because it's not that personal. Business is business out there. Here it's just so crabs in the bucket.
Personal. We have that mentality. It's so weird.
It's just so strange.
Do you think it's because they have this idea of, like, the American dream, even though it's not always the American dream, but they have that value and that ideal? Whereas I don't think, somebody posted, I think it might have been Ronke, and she was like, what is the equivalent of the American dream in the UK? And the answers were hilarious because we don't have none.
Yeah. Because I think it's a different society. I think in America, you have to remember they built the country of business and of people. And remember the English used to own the US. They fought for their rights. They got it. Obviously, they started to do their madnesses to black people after. However, they built it on business. You know, they've got how many millions and millions and millions of people in America. You can make so much money out there. And they know in order to make money, they need to continue competing and stuff. I think here, it's completely different. Like the UK, how long have the UK owned the world, you know?
Yeah. Empire.
You know? And British Empire, everything. What do you need to have? The white people need to have their dream and pass it down to their ancestors, to their generations, create generational wealth. It's not about developing talent. It's not about developing black entrepreneurs and keeping them. Like, so I think that's why a lot of people are going to Dubai. Yeah. People are leaving this country to build elsewhere, which is so sad because I think the UK has so much that can give, but I just don't think that the UK supports entrepreneurship, especially black entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why we have Vamp. So if 10 years from now, someone comes up to you and they say, Christina helped make this possible, what would this be?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff. I think we've helped a lot of small businesses. So during COVID, because we were doing black talent, black creators and that stuff before the death of George Floyd and the murder of George Floyd. So before it came a whole thing where brands started putting up the black square and started pledging allegiance to black people and then taking it back after. We were doing it before. So when it happened, we were prepared and ready. So we were like, okay, what should we do to really amplify how we can support black entrepreneurs? So I think we rallied together about 8 businesses. And we started to do marketing. So we tapped into our creators. God bless our creators. They literally took not a lot of money to market these black brands, and it really helped them. Like, it really helped these brands. And I hope to hear that, you know, in 10 years, someone says, Vamp provided a creator for me that got this conversation going about my product, or I came to the Power Branch and I met my future business partner, or Vamp provided an opportunity for me to interview this person. That would be amazing for us.
There's so many good things that you're creating and putting out there into the community. Okay, I want to close, but I want to do like a quick fire fun. I did a little bit of research and I saw like you like Beyonce, we like Beyonce, Housewives. So let me just do.
I didn't even have to bring up Beyonce myself this time. You brought it up. See,
guys. So as we said, Beyonce is your fave. So if you could design the ultimate PR campaign for her, what would it look like?
Do you know what's amazing? We actually worked on the Sacred UK launch last year. Oh my God. So we basically worked with Beyonce already.
Yeah.
However, what would that look like? I think we did it like, maybe it might be quite nice to kind of detail what we did for Sacred.
Yeah.
And how we actually kind of got that. We built a relationship with Yvette, which is Beyonce's publicist. Yeah. She's such an amazing woman. Like, she's so supportive. Like, if you look at black caring people, that is someone that is 100% will fight and ride for a lot of people. So yeah, so we had the relationship with her, and I will never forget, even when Beyonce did the Renaissance premiere in the UK, I literally messaged her and I was like, oh, hi, but like, can we invite some influencers? She was like, yeah, send me the people, send her the list. Then she's like, do you not want to come as well? Oh yeah, I nearly melted, yeah. Anyway, so we did that and that went really well. The people that we invited and the talent, we invited some celebrities as well. They did some content that did really well. So I think after that, that's when Beyonce was launching Sacred, and she messaged us and said, can you sign this NDA? And do you know what I mean? Like, sign a Beyonce NDA, no problem.
Yeah.
So he signed it, didn't know what we were pitching for. So I just signed it anyway.
Yeah.
Then they came to us and they were like, yeah, we're launching the brand. Do you want to pitch for it? So we had to pitch to be the PR agency. But as we're very specialist, what they ended up saying was, we're going to get another PR agency, but we're going to get you guys to do the influencer marketing. So we just did influencer marketing. So that meant us reaching out to people like Melissa's Wardrobe. God bless her, because she was heavily pregnant and she was promoting Sacred so much because we have a great relationship with her. And other influencers from India to like loads of different creators that were like, you know, posting about the product. And it did really well and they were very, very happy. And yeah, it was a big strategy thing. And you got to remember, we had never met any of the team in person, by the way.
So this is all just over Zooms and phone calls. Wow.
Just Zoom. There's a lot of business that we've done I've never met. We did business in China once, we've never met them.
Yeah.
Whole life.
I guess this is like how we execute it now in 2025, you know, and beyond, and thinking about AI and how that's going to play a role again and how we change and do business. So it's always evolving, always an
Exactly.
evolution. Okay, so Pressed is one of your faves to watch?
No. So basically, we produced Pressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can still ask me about that.
All right. So we'll do
It doesn't exist
Oprah,
anymore.
Housewives. Yep.
Mm.
If you had to live inside one of those worlds for a week, which one are you picking?
So ask me again.
So it was meant to be Pressed, Oprah, Housewives.
Oh
yeah. If you had to live in one of those worlds for a week, which one are you picking?
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? Yeah, I love Housewives, but I couldn't live in it.
No,
I couldn't be a housewife.
It's too chaotic.
It's too dramatic. Like I think I'll just like break down with all that.
Yeah.
So probably Oprah.
Yeah.
I think with Oprah, she's built such an amazing company. And I was in the US and I went to the African American Cultural Museum. Sorry if I'm butchering it. I think they built it in 2016. I don't know the dates and stuff, but I went there and she was one of the people that funded it.
Okay.
And just to see the impacts, like, guys, if you are in Washington DC, go to that museum as a Black person. Trust me. Just to see the impacts that museum has created. I know Obama pushed for that museum as well. And she put a lot of money into that. For me, it's about that philanthropy stuff, that philanthropic stuff after. She started off with her own show, which went on for 25 years. Yeah. She built her own network. She's put on so many actors. She's made so many shows. Like, that is where I'm trying to be. Yeah. With her and Stedman in that vineyard, wherever she is, I'm trying to be there.
Yeah, she's launched book careers and made them bestsellers and just so many, so influential. Okay, so I'd like to at this point ask about values. So I always ask one for your professional life and one for your personal life, something that just carries you. It could be one word, it could be a sentence. So let's start with your professional life.
For my professional life, leadership, I'm big on that. We just spoke about that. I think that's a big value. I think when you're in positions like we've been existing for 8 years, you have all these clients who made this amount of money, people see you in a certain type of way. And I don't believe in all that role models rubbish, because you see me, if you know my personal life, I just live my best life. But as a leader, I think it's so important to lead the next generation. I think you need to talk to younger people as a leader. You need to develop people and want to get them and teach them teach them things that you didn't know. I just think that's just so important. If you want to create the next generation of young people, if you want to look at the internet and say, oh, these young people are out doing this rubbish and you're not contributing, then you're a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to be a leader, you need to, it's not every day get the bag. Sometimes get the young person and help them.
Absolutely. Pass down that wisdom.
Yeah.
And for your personal life?
Choose you. I think it's been so long that we've chosen other people and helped a lot of people. And I think that's just what we are. That's our ethos. There's nothing wrong with that. That's our purpose. But personally, I think that I have definitely sacrificed a lot to do that. And I think that when you look back and you start to think, because I'm not big on value exchange at all. If I'll do something for you, I don't really care if you don't do it for me back. But now I think I have to think more about that, because I have to be more selfish. I have to put myself first. I'm not going to support someone it affects me. Especially as women, as we're getting older, I want to have my children, I want to get married. So I need to put myself first. Yeah. So just be selfish and put yourself first. No one's going to hate you. You're still going to be the good friend that you are.
Yeah. Don't leave your cup so empty.
Yeah.
Exactly. Agreed.
Put your mask on first.
Yes, absolutely. Christina, thank you so much for coming all the way down. It's been such a great chat and so many wisdom and nuggets of information. So yeah, thank you. If people want to find you, where can they follow your journey?
Yeah, so Christina OK on Instagram, Vamp UK. The Power Brunch as well on October 15th. You can find me live in the flesh. If you want to ask me anything, Rumby and Ruby will be there too, so you can speak to them too. But yeah, I would love to just see all Black women who are very interested in developing themselves, talking and working with other Black women, other creators, other entrepreneurs, other professional women. It's not just for creatives, it's also for professional women too. I'd love to see you all there. We're going to have fun. We're going to look cute. We're going to take so many pictures, guys, So don't miss out. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much once more. And guys, thank you again for joining the Black Circle. And if you want to follow the Black Circle's journey, we are on all socials under the Black Circle podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe. Thank you. Yeah.